A very pleasant good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am in Enfield, St. Mary. This place, this blessed place of Enfield, holds so much memories for me. Great memories as a kid growing up. And one of the greatest memories that I have is of a man that the entire district of Enfield knows. All the way from Fort Stewart to Junior Penn to Enfield to Long Road, Tinsbury, right? May River. Everybody in the community knows this man. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Canute Mcleary, affectionately known by everyone as Boss Mcleary. And it is an honor for me to sit here today, ladies and gentlemen, with the direct descendant of Boss, his son, Everton Mcleary. Now, Eva is a well-rounded musician, a singer, a songwriter, and a player of many instruments. So I'm going to be talking to him for a little bit, finding out about the early days with his father and how he grew up in this beautiful place known as Enfield. Eva, big up yourself.
Yes, sir.
Much love. Eva, Enfield, what it means to you? First thing first.
Enfield to me is a school. I learned a lot of stuff in Enfield. Enfield is my hometown, although I wasn't born in Enfield. I was born in a little district close to Long Road by the place by the name of Enfield.
Okay.
But my mother migrated to the UK in 1962. Then I came to live with my dad and my grandparents, Ivan Mcleary and Gladys Mcleary, in Enfield. So I spent all my entire life in Enfield, St. Mary. So this is my home.
Your father is famous. Take us back down memory lane as a young man, before you start playing an instrument, before you got musically inclined. Tell us about your father.
Not just my father was famous, it's an inheritance thing. My grandfather was a genius. He was very famous. So that's where my dad get it from. Every little thing in this community, everybody will come to Mars Ivan. If they have a clock to fix, a watch, a radio, anything, a gramophone, an organ, they come to grandfather.
Mars Ivan.
Right, Mars Ivan. Everybody was Mars Ivan. And so Mars Ivan, so my dad. You know, at a young age I used to go with my grandfather and my father. My grandfather used to be an all-rounder, carpenter, and I would go and I would pass the tool to him, so I would look and learn little by little. So my dad, so from trade work to music, I remember we had a Baldwin organ at the next door house down there, and when I started learning to play that organ, I was just 10. When I sit on the stool, my feet couldn't get to the pedal.
Yes.
And he would sit beside me on that stool, and he would pedal, press the pedal, and I would be there with my one or two finger you know, making
Playing the
some
keys,
nice,
yeah.
you know, trying, you know. But my grandfather always said, you need to learn the notes, you need to read the notes. But I just couldn't learn nothing by reading notes. So I would be there, pang, 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 pang. So I start learning by ear.
Yeah.
1977, the year I learned to play the guitar. 1979, I got saved, baptized in Juniper Church of God by Brother Nicky. And that's where I break out and become more classical in music, singing here, singing there, playing here, playing there. And that's where I get all my development from. The church. I learn a lot of stuff in the church.
In the church.
You know, so...
So Boss, your father, he was instrumental in teaching you the instrument, especially the guitar, right? Tell us a little bit about that in the early days.
Well, it wasn't just I alone who used to teach to play the guitar. There was quite a few other guys, like Dennis Lovelock, Ghana Willie.
Yes, yes.
Another guy from here by the name of Second Tyrrell.
Yes.
And I think also Delroy's Calf. And but I was the main man who was mainly motivated. I love this instrument so much. I used to fall asleep with my guitar on my chest. Sometimes even when my guitar string they break off, sometimes I'm down to one string and I'm still making music from the one string. I remember on a Saturday I used to go to Extraordinare, you know, just trying to get away from any form of people around me.
Yeah, the hustle and the bustle.
Right, you know, because sometimes some people criticize, oh, you're not doing this and good. So I went to Extraordinare, right up that bamboo route, and I would stay there for hours, and I practice. I even find myself holding chords that my dad never even teach me. And I will come to him and I will ask him, Papa, what chord is this? What chord is that? And he would tell me. So I say this to say that anything you love in life and it's not detrimental to yourself and to others, just do it. And do it to the best of your ability.
I am a musician as well. I grew up extremely poor in this community. My father, Rodney Sinclair, they call him Stone, and that's where I eventually got the name Stone from hand-me-down from one generation to another. But the reason why this interview is very important to me is because I want the younger generation of Enfield and people who are Enfieldites, who are scattered all around the world, because this little district have some of the greatest people scattered around the world. But I'm more focusing on the younger youths, for them to know that I'm an icon of the character of a boss, handed down to the next generation of Everton, still exists in this community today. Matter of fact, he currently resides in England, but this is where he's going to call home. I'm actually in his living room talking to him. And this is why this interview is very important to me, and I know it will be, because we spoke at length last night about forming a band. And I know that the district is poor, a farming community, but I know that most of the youngsters will gravitate to music because music is like an outlet, just like sports and so on and so forth. So I want, when this interview is aired on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram, and Twitter, they will at least take a page from Everton's book to know that if you're diligent, if you are earnest about what you want, if you love what you do, you too can grow up to be able to master the different instrument or even play the different instrument that Everton plays. Fast track it to England. What happened there? Why did you leave Jamaica and go settle in England for a while?
I was growing up with my grandparents in Enfield St. Mary. My grandmother passed away in 1988. My grandfather passed away 89. So it's like I didn't have anyone left because I was even closer to my grandmother and grandfather than even my dad.
Yes. Your grandma and grandpa, they are the one.
You know, they are the one that
Molded you, per
that's
se.
it.
Yeah.
So then I decided to visit the UK in 1990, and I'm still there. You know, I used to be in Jamaica here, and I used to do a bit of farming. And one day I went to the farm, and when I look and see what all the teeth they have been doing to me, I say to myself, I say, Lord, there's no future in this. I speak to myself and I say, Everton, you can do better than this. And I left Enfield and I went to Orcharias to look employment. And the first construction site I went on, they were building this guest house next to a White River. And I went in there and I seek employment, and I was employed as a painter and decorator. And when the boss saw my performance, he said to me, "Where were you all this time? You came when the job almost finished." And I worked there for about a month and the job completed. Then I left. I didn't come back to St. Mary. I traveled further on looking employment, more work. Then they were building a hotel further down in Orcharias where I was employed as a laborer. By speaking to the foreman, telling him what I can do, he said to me, "You're a joker, man. You say you have all them gifts and you're here doing laboring. I'm gonna line you up with the foreman that's responsible for the painting department." So I speak to the foreman the Friday. The foreman told me I must come in the Monday and bring my tools. When I went in the Monday morning, brought my tools, he said, "If you know you can't paint, tell me, you know. Because I 7 man the fire last week. Oh, you look so nervous. Oh, your tool that look so mash up. Oh, you paint before." And he didn't have any confidence in me.
Yes.
So he said to me, "I would even put you on the hotel then." So he took me and he put me on the cottage. And he showed me what to do. And about 9:30 he came and he come and visit the cottage, come and look at my job. About 11 o'clock he came back and he looked at my job, he said nothing. Went for lunch, returned from lunch about 1 o'clock, he come and he looked at my job. And about 2:30 he brought 4 men and said, "Christian, take them man here. Show them what you do. I want to see the job look like how Christian job look."
Wow.
And I stayed there. I didn't have no more visit from him. The only time I have visit from my foreman, from my boss, is when he have anything technical to do. So I stayed there. I worked night. I worked day.
Wow.
This was Sanders Hotel. That's where I met Bush Stewart for the first time. And I stayed there. And I worked until the job was completed. I even have managers in the hotel before I get there. I stayed there and worked until the job completed. And I got a job in the hotel as a maintenance painter and decorator.
Wow.
And that's where I work. I even have managers who used to take me off the hotel, take to do their house, Washington Garden, Bonham Spring. And that's where I work and save my money and book my ticket and went away to the UK.
Yeah.
I didn't really regret that I went to the UK. When I went to the UK, I first started working in the hospital as a kitchen porter. Worked my way up. you know, do a bit of courses. Was employed in the operating theatre as a nursing assistant.
What?
So a lot of my days in the hospital, I does a lot of teaching because we do a lot of laparoscopy, hysteroscopy, laser. So I used to go to different workshops, learning to operate all these equipments. So, but if when you go to that hospital, which is the Hammersmith Hospital, they call me a different kind of name. They call me Lord Mcleary, they call me Professor. You know, it was just a laugh, you know,
Yeah.
and I didn't regret going to the UK.
Well,
You know.
ladies and gentlemen, I know all of you been wanting this moment because he spoke about playing the guitar and singing and so on. So when we come back from this break, we're going to be in from Everton Mcleary, strumming his guitar. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to this wonderful interview that I'm having with Everton Mcleary, the son of Boss. Now you heard him talk about playing the guitar till all the strings them mash up and he was still playing even with one string. Well, all 6 strings on this guitar. So we're gonna hear a little bit of the golden voice, I call it. The golden voice of Everton Mcleary. Take it away.
I'm not really a reggae singer or a soul singer because I was grown up in the church. Most of the songs that I do are gospel songs. I could do a gospel concert for 2 hours just on my own.
Wow.
This is one of my favorite gospel songs. All along life's way, I stumble in the darkness. My blinded eyes had caused my feet to roam. I met the Lord who spoke.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I'm saying, you know, you can do and become anything that you want to become if you believe in yourself, if you believe in the Almighty God, then everything that you want to become in life, it's yours, at your fingertip. Now you have just heard Everton Mcleary did one of his all-time favorite gospel songs. As you can see, he has finally mastered the guitar, and his voice, the big, rich baritone sound, as my friend Sean Prendergast says, is melodious. But I know the fan might be saying, well, in practice I one tune there, so I don't think I'm having a more in the catalog. Well, we have news for you. We have much, much more. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my friend, the son of Boss, Everton Mcleary, doing another song for you. Take it away.
My heart can sing when I pause to remember. Heartache is but a stepping stone along the thread that winding always upward. This troubled world is not my final home, but until then my heart will go on singing. Until then, with joy this troubled world, with all its toils and sorrow, may take his flight of misery and strife. The soul of man is like a waiting for God. When it's released, it's destined for the sky. But until then, my heart will go on singing. Until then, with joy I'll carry on. Until the day my eyes behold the city. Until the day God calls me
So when the sister Anna Buckle, the archive big and bad. I'm impressed, Everton, to be honest with you. When Tony Gutsmore, we met last night and he told me that you was the son of Boss. And a matter of fact, Ever has been watching most of my videos overseas, so he knows what I do. But I didn't know that he does what he do and the way he does it. But Tony Gutsmore told me, Big Stone, you have to hear him. So between me and you, just looking at Ever, you know, you don't see a musical instrument. I thought more or less that, you know, he was into power wrestling or something. You know what I mean? I didn't know that he could master the guitar and play the guitar. And I was taken back, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, of the power of his voice. And that is why this interview, like I say, I'm very happy to be sitting here talking to him. I've had the opportunity of speaking to platinum selling artists like Sean Paul, I've spoken to Alton Ellis, I've spoken to Ken Booth, Eka Mouse, you name them. Nesbeth, Turbulence, the Future. But an artist that has this classical sound. So how come you didn't pursue, tell us what you did with your musical career, because we didn't even know what you did with your skills as a painter, as a builder. What happened with your musical career?
I never really take up music that serious. Being in the UK is a different ball game from being in Jamaica. I think if I was living in Jamaica, I would have gone further. But by being in the UK, having a family, you know, paying bills, mortgage, rent, finding a job, it was a totally different ball game. I've been to a couple of places and performed, like weddings, christening, funerals, clubs, pubs, and I bumped into quite a lot of people who said they are producers, and it just pure promises. But I didn't really push myself as I should. I remember in 2004, I've entered the X Factor in the UK. My first audition, they rejected me, and I didn't really pursue it.
Which song did you do?
I did a Lionel Richie song. I think the title of the song is Still. Is it Still? Yeah. It's a lady, morning just a moment away, and I'm without you once again. You laugh at me, you said you never need dead in me. I wonder if you need me now. So many dreams that flows away. So many words we didn't say. To people lost in the storm. Where did we go? Where we go? We lost what we bought were found. You know we let each other down. But then most of all, I do love you still.
Powerful, powerful. Wow, you see how tough that X Factor is? But this is a great presentation. A great presentation. But guess what? As a record producer, and I'm going to say this publicly, I'm going to send you some rhythms and see what we come up with, because being a descendant of Enfield, we want to encourage the youngsters to let them know that even though we're a little bit over the hill, but we still have it. We still have that God-given talent that has been given to us, and we want to pass it on through to the next generation, so that the world will recognize that Enfield is not just end of the field in terms of a plantation where you are farmers, but Enfield is where great music comes from and great individuals come from. That was a great, powerful performance. Now you have gone on to mastering the guitar. So of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you another side of Everton Taylor. Don't touch it out. When we come back, it's going to surprise you with another instrument. Stay tuned. My mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with them, I'll play a song that would never, ever end. Oh, I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again.